The price of gold in Egypt has risen to record highs. There is currently a gold rush in Egypt as its local currency deteriorates. When central bank digital currencies are all over the world and digital currencies are heavily managed, let's see who is dumb. Mark Cuban thinks gold can be replaced with something better. Thousands of years of history and CBDCs are coming as central banks stockpile gold. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we have an important AMC video to go over, but before we get into the AMC numbers, charts, and things like that, we have a little bit of DD to go over. All I ask you guys to do in return is, of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It is free, and if you want to go beyond that, there is super thanks and stuff like that down below. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first thing, of course, we're touching on is the gold and what's happening, and I wanted to touch on what Mark Cuban thinks. Cuban says, I want Bitcoin to go down a lot further so I can buy more. He added that if you buy gold, you're literally just dumb as fuck. Genuinely interested why it's dumb AF to own the oldest and most consistent financial asset in the history of mankind. Mark Cuban replies, because the intrinsic value from jewelry and MFG is minimal. Once you get beyond that, it's all speculation and narrative. Most gold ownership is a digital TRX. Few take physical delivery. BTC intrinsic is ability to transact and transfer with the same speculation and narrative. So pretty much Mark Cuban is saying that owning gold, owning the asset of gold, you're literally never having ownership of anything because it can't do anything, right? If they were to deliver you physical gold, then yeah, the currency is good. However, Bitcoin's intrinsic value is the ability to transact and transfer with the same speculation and narrative. When gold, you can't do that unless you have the physical asset at hand, which he says, can they deliver? He goes, let me ask you a question. What would happen to all the gold exchanges if everyone who owned gold and had contractual right to delivery asked for immediate delivery? Could the exchanges deliver or would they crash? And he goes, it relates to the exchanges and funds that lend out gold. If they can't deliver and can't cover their shorts, what happens then? They halt withdrawals, and the minute they open, people on these exchanges start dumping their gold trying to get ahead of the run. Now, doesn't this sound familiar? This sounds exactly like AMC and GameStop and shorts not being able to cover their position, which we are going to touch on in 1 minute. The US stock market has lost 11.7 trillion in market cap from its January high, and interest rates on credit cards have climbed to just over 19% according to Bankrate.com, the highest level in date going back to 1985. Finally, as the US housing crash is starting and it has a little bit more room to fall, the International Monetary Fund now expects a sizable crash in Australia's housing market and warns Canada of a 20% or more correction from its peak. They are also warning about Asia's property markets. The entire world was addicted to cheap money. Now, finally, it is time to start touching on AMC. Short selling around reverse stock splits. Somebody posted this on Reddit and they go, posting so apes make an informed decision, kind of leaning towards voting no, and let's read it. I also find that firms that reverse split their stock experience negative cumulative abnormal returns in the 20-day period after the reverse stock split occurs, particularly those firms that are heavily shorted. These results are in agreement with existent literature and suggest that short sellers are informed and correctly predict future negative abnormal returns. The result also suggests that short sellers put downward pressure on stock prices after reverse splits. Now, this is accurate for the most part. However, I dug through the same SEC filing that this guy is reading into, and it also says that throughout history, it's been like this, but this may be due for an update. Now, I'm not saying that, AMC is going to climb after the reverse split. It's a positive thing, this and that, but let me tell you one thing. AMC is reverse splitting because of the preferred equity unit being 1/7 of the value that it should be. The CEO said this himself. After they convert and reverse split, they will be able to dilute more and clear debt from the company. So short sellers jumping back into the play are already wrong, right? You shouldn't jump back into a play that is essentially clearing debt. Not only that, but with the reverse split, they may even go earnings per share positive for one of the quarters, also indicating a positive trend for the fundamental side of things. But that is not the point I'm getting at. The point I'm getting at is that I think we have a chance to run within this time frame. It said specifically in the filing of the ape conversion and stock split that there will be this meeting within 90 days. So before April. right, late March or earlier, right? It could be tomorrow. I'm not giving you a date. Or earlier, the special shareholder meeting will occur. Aron, hopefully you do this before January 20th, and I'll explain why in a minute. But anytime before then, we will have this meeting. And in my opinion, just based off of other stocks that are heavily shorted and that have reverse split, they run up heavily, and shorts most likely get out of their positions. And then finally, right after the reverse split occurs, they tank the stock. All shorts dive back in and the stock essentially drops. Why? It could be a psychological thing because the price is higher. Less people want to invest in a stock that the price is higher. Just from a psychological standpoint, shorts take advantage of that. Why? Because a reverse split indicates a company in distress. Shorts might take advantage of that. There may be a bunch of different ways. However, what I'm trying to say here is they can jump in after all they want. This window we have from now until March, we have to keep AMC trending and GameStop trending as a sympathy play and make these shorts hurt really bad. And we're going to get in the cost to borrow in a minute. But we need to keep the FOMO and the gamma ramp going. And in my opinion, AMC has great potential to shift to the upside over the next couple of months. And we can have the same volatility we had back in June and the same price run up, if not larger, if not the MOAS that we've been waiting for before the reverse split occurs. With that being said, we're literally at the bottom of this cycle that I've been tracking, and it shows that we would like to scale up for the rest of the time being. And most of the time, these cycles are accurate. You see one started right here at the low, and it ran all the way up to $17 from $6, right? And you can pretty much take any one of these and it plays out the same way. It ran right here from $3 all the way up to $9, and we are starting that same exact cycle again. And back here when it happened is when, of course, you had that run up in June. Let's get back to the numbers really quick. AMC is reporting a 19.42% short interest with utilization still maxed out, and this is where it gets interesting. Cost to borrow average 254.4%, the max 358.82%, and the minimum 7.26%. Somebody is paying 7% cost to borrow on their shares of AMC. Somebody is paying 358%, and the average amount of people borrowing shares against the stock are paying 254.4%. There's no reason at all to continue to hold this. Get ready for massive volatility in AMC. APE, 7.24% short interest, 9.94% cost to borrow. They're gonna have to close on this, right? We had the announcement a couple days ago. If the short interest tomorrow and Wednesday does not drop from 7% and it stays there, that means retail has been buying and caused APE to run up to about $2 right now. With that being said, shorts can't get out of their positions, or at least they haven't get out of their positions yet. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I called Fidelity and they said shorts have to close on APE. Retail, institutions, if you have a short on APE, it has to be closed. Cost to borrow average 14% in max on APE 14%. For some reason, there is no minimum to be shown right here. And as for AMC on Stock Tracker, it's reporting 0 shares available to borrow with the most recent fee at 104% for the last 3,000 shares. This is huge. We saw cost to borrow go from 20% all the way up to 100. Why did this happen when, you might be asking lottery stocks, you said there were these tokenized stocks I showed you guys on the channel that can essentially just create infinite amount of shares. Why is the cost to borrow fee now rising when these tokens are still issued? You see, this is exactly why the reverse split voting yes is a good thing. There's going to be a change in the QSIP, and it can essentially force naked shorts to cover. What market makers and hedge funds are doing right now is these tokenized stocks that were essentially backed 1-to-1, according to the CEO of FTX, are now something that has to be located for, right? So there is going to, day by day, there should be decreasing the amount of shares ready to short and buy on AMC, thus increasing the cost to borrow for short sellers. Now, what else is interesting is there is 435,000 call contracts expiring January 20th. If Aron made a boss-ass move, we would have this special shareholder meeting this week or next week to vote on and get the reverse split to happen before this. And the reason for that is with 100 million float, if the reverse split happened, market makers have to allocate for these shares just in case people want to, get 100 shares per call contract that they own. Market makers have to have these shares ready. They have to have them in a pool. It's going to cause buying. It's going to cause gamma. Aron, I'm going to tweet at you after this video. That would be a boss-ass move. Not only that, short exempts 1.4 million on the 22nd and 583,000 on the 23rd. There is a large amount of short exempts on AMC. They're keeping the price down for now. Essentially, this is probably the pullback before the launch. As for GameStop, also 0 shares available to borrow. The most recent fee was 28%. This is up from 7%. Also a great move. 460,000 call contracts January 20th. These are the yearly ones. If we make shorts cover on this, that's going to be a crazy thing to see. However, if we don't, market makers are going to be a little bit happy because there is 600,000 puts on GameStop for that yearly expiration. And touching on Aron's tweet real quick, he goes, one of 3 biggest inflation in 40 years. So in 2023, companies will grant large % salary raises, but I do not want more. When our shareholders are hurting, I recommend to the AMC board to red circle and freeze both my cash and target stock pay for 2023. No increase. It also goes, despite high inflation, I also asked our most senior officers, 15 to 20 executives, to forego an increase in their cash salaries for 2023. When CEOs ask executives to their credit, usually agree. I sincerely thank them for that. AMC has a very dedicated management team. And finally, 3, no increase for those at the top is the right thing to do. I have fans and bashers on Twitter, those who agree or disagree with my decisions, but know this, my motives are pure. I try as best as I know how to lead AMC through the painful aftermath of this horrid pandemic. Now, why is this so important? The reason this is important is because Aron is finally coming out and saying, I diluted APE when you guys didn't want dilution, and now it's trading at 1/7 of what it should. I fucked up, and I kind of did it in spite for you guys because you denied dilution, but not only did you deny dilution, you denied extra compensation for me, extra upscale in salary, and now he's saying, I fucked up on APE. I am not going to screw this up as well. You guys denied compensation. Now I don't even want to be paid until shareholders aren't hurting anymore. Not only that, but I also asked the top executives who aren't really struggling with money to not get an extra salary increase, right? 15 to 20 executives, and he goes, they usually agree when the CEO asks this. However, it's not a definite. And yes, employees will still get an increase in salary because they're the employees. It's just the right thing to do. And essentially, this is just the breakdown of his tweets. But he also goes, those who agree or disagree with my decisions, but know this, my motives are pure. So he knows people are agreeing or disagreeing, and they're saying Aron's screwing retail, Aron's not screwing retail. And he says, whether you agree or disagree, my motives are pure, and I'm here to let you know that. So if you think Aron is doing something bad, he's letting you know my motives are pure, and this is the best I know how to lead AMC through these painful times. Now, touching on the charts real quick, we said AMC can scale up over the next couple of months, and I stand by that. It is kind of hugging this support level around $4. Next, watch 318 for that little gap fill that we saw way back in here of February of 2021. So be careful, watch that gap fill down there. I don't think AMC has a long time frame for downside. If it flash crashes lower, that's fine. I don't think it's going to trade too low for the next couple of weeks. I think this is going to be a temporary thing. APE hit $2 today and got rejected. It's currently hanging around the support level. We have to see it break over this. Essentially, we're just waiting to see if APE and the short interest decreases on APE. That's something that I wanted to pay attention to and I want to watch. Of course, the SPY slightly red, kind of hanging around sideways. We're at this little mid-level where the SPY is like, I kind of want to decide where I'm going to go here. If the SPY decides to fall, you have this parallel channel that can catch itself at around 364. If it comes down there pretty quick, it's fighting this level at 383, doesn't want to be below, doesn't want to be over. And finally, you're going to get that decision when the new year hits. Do people want to pull money out of the market, or do people want to stuff money into the market? Generally, the first week of January and the last week, which we are in now, of trading of the year, people want to stuff money back into the market to kind of get a jump ahead on things. That's kind of why people say you may see a Santa Claus rally, this, that, and the third. But just be mindful of the S&P 500 if you're investing long term. The best returns are dollar cost averaging, generally speaking, unless you can perfectly time the market, which I made a video about right here. If you guys didn't see that, go watch that. Real quick to close out the video, this is about to end in the next few days. So if you use my link pinned in the comments or in the description to download Moomoo on your phone or computer, it takes 2 minutes to do so. All you have to do is deposit at least $1 in there and you are going to get up to 20 free stocks and a chance to win $60,000 plus a free wheel spin on another stock. This is a commission-free trading platform with free level 2 order books so you can see where whales are loading up, dropping off shares, a custom earnings calendar, have access to other exchanges, trading crypto, going long, going short on on any given stocks, trading options, and have further expirations on those options. So my links will be down below. If you guys want to download Moomoo and sign up and deposit in there, you will get these benefits. Ultimately, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I take my time to research, edit, record, and upload these for you guys so you don't have to. Please just do what's free and hit the like. Find a way to hit it, whether you're on your TV, your phone, or computer. And also just subscribe to the channel. Get us to 10K. We are 1,500 subscribers away. Drop a positive comment down below. I really hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas. I may or may not be doing a giveaway soon, so make sure to have post notifications on. Ultimately, AMC time. It's that season. It's GameStop time. You're starting to feel that thing in the air where something's really, really close, and I'm getting really excited for it. So that is it, guys. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.